Yes, salutations, peace, and love to all you beautiful souls out there. Welcome to a podcast called Eti Sen, and more specifically, Season 2, Episode 1 of the podcast. As you can see, I'm on your screens right now. We're trying to venture into the YouTube space. New studio render, as you can see in the background. Studio tour soon come. But right now, we're just trying to get into this episode, you understand? But before we get into the episode, I like to say a special thanks to all my guests, collaborators on Season 1. You know who you are, but I'm going to give you your flowers. I'm going to mention your names. Your names are on the episodes anyway, but yeah. From Ofe to Pops, Sophia, Lami, Cyril, Iman and Enrico, Benji, Magdalena, and of course my little bro, who actually wasn't a guest, but we did a few episodes when we were doing our Tagoe Talk. If you don't know about Tagoe Talk, link in the description. But yeah, I was able to edit some of our discussions on social media and relationships, and also obviously on Valentine's Day, and made it into this podcast as well. So thank you, bro. You get me? You weren't directly involved, but you get me. Your contribution is always valuable. And welcome, you get me? He's going to be a co-host soon. You might not know it yet, but it's going to happen, you understand? But yeah, we're available wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, SoundCloud, Anchor.fm, the whole shebang. Simply search Eti Sen to listen. If you don't know how to spell Eti Sen, look at the channel name. It's there for you, you understand? But yeah, it's in the description anyway, man. But yeah, without, dilly-dallying too much, let's dive right into this episode, you understand? Let's dive right in. So, as with Season 1, the first proper episode was with myself. You know how the saying goes, be the change you want to see in the world, and also, don't be scared to take the first step. The first step with everything in life is to actually take one, the actual movement, the actual motion, the actual practicality of it is to take a step. Now, it might not necessarily be physical. It may start in the mental space, but for it to manifest, we're living in a 3D realm, you understand? So you have to feel it, you get me? So you have to move, make some sort of locomotion, some sort of movement, you understand? But this episode is also mainly just to give the whole studio a quick test run, make sure everything is working as it should be, sound quality is on point, lights is all the places there, you get me? The ambiance, you get me? It's right. So it's more a bit of that, and also a recap. Also allow me to take some time and to introspect. Talking to myself really, but you know how it goes. Before I invite guests, let me make sure that I iron out any challenges that we may have when they come here. And let me not waste time in it with other people. So if I'm going to be wasting my time, I'd rather waste my own. Now, I've been here since 11 a.m. As I'm recording, it's 3 p.m. So it tells you how long it's taken to actually get the place set up properly to where I'm happy and to record, especially the video version of it. But yeah, let's get into it, you understand? Let's get into it. So, we can't really start this episode without talking about COVID-19. It's actually good to laugh about it now. Right, it's almost 2 years that we've been going through COVID. But I'd like to start off first by saying some deepest and sincerest condolences to anyone that lost loved ones. Said death is never something that's easy to deal with, although it's one of the few things that is guaranteed in life. We all shall one day pass. We shall all one day move on to another realm of existence. And depending on your personal beliefs, we might just die and nothing happens, or we might die and obviously advance and move on to another level. As I said, depending on your personal experiences, but death, nevertheless, it's never an easy situation to deal with. And as you go through the different stages of grief, all I can wish for, I actually don't wish for, all I can suggest is to make sure you have a good circle of friends around you, that your inner circle are able to help you through those periods whereby it's dark. But whenever you feel like you're alone, try and make sure you have someone that you can refer to, someone that you can call on. And if you're alone, link in the description as well, some numbers that you can call and have a conversation with someone that's a stranger. And sometimes talking to strangers that don't have any personal connection to you allows you to actually talk a lot more freely. So yes, utilize these services that are available. is very useful, absolutely useful. Talking acts as a release, and you never know how just having a conversation with someone can improve your mental. It's really useful and something I recommend. So links in the description below. Make a conversation. Pick up the phone and speak to someone. If you can't pick up the phone, you get me. Go chat to someone. You get me. Make it physical if it has to be, like one-to-one. Now that the restrictions are that you get me, are easing and that. But yeah, there is some good news on the horizon. The pandemic will soon be over, as in officially. So expect an announcement in the future. We're no longer going to be living in a pandemic. It might be isolated and localized in different continents and different regions of the world. So an epidemic at best. But I think the pandemic is more or less, it's kind of calming down a bit, you understand? Our immunity has been boosted with all the vaccines and that. And yeah, if you were one of those that got it, cool. If you didn't, it's all good, you understand? But yeah, it's all a personal decision at the end of the day. Depending on what you want to do in life, depending on where you see yourself in the future, that's how you make your decisions. But yeah, how has it been for you? How has COVID-19 been for you? How have you managed and gone through this very challenging period for humanity overall? Now, leave your thoughts and comments in the section below. Yeah, you know that. I'm going to keep referring to that. I'm trying to interact, trying to engage. I'll respond, I'll listen. Yeah, so make sure you leave your comments in there. If you don't want to leave it there, hit me up. Go follow the socials. A podcast called Eti Sen. We can have a conversation. I'm advocating positive spaces for conversations to be had. It's normal. Normalize having conversation. You don't have to make it too personal. You can say a friend of a friend. You can tell me someone I know. You get me? It doesn't have to be your thing. You get me? You can, package it in a certain way so that we may not necessarily think it's you, but the discussion that it will generate and some of the insights that will be shared hopefully is valuable. But yeah, COVID, I believe for me personally has been an opportunity for change, an opportunity to recalibrate and to refresh, an opportunity to learn new skills, and it's just possibly the way I choose to see life. I've been through several hardships, so as with everything, I'm always trying to find a silver lining, and it's been an opportunity for lots of new beginnings. That doesn't mean that there hasn't been any challenges, but overall, I think majority of us, now that we've gone through the whole process of COVID, can appreciate what he's done for us mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and of course, physically. So, new skills, new beginnings. That's how I look at COVID-19. Now, there's been a lot of information in the media, the whole vaccination and all the boosters, finding out that the UK government in particular was doing bits whereby the UK public were in shackles and chains. The government was doing their bits and celebrating and doing the party, allegedly. But yeah, let's move on too much before man gets triggered and that. But yeah. So yeah, all of that waffling has led to this moment whereby I'm about to give you an update in it. So what have I been doing? What has changed for me within the past 18 to 24 months? There's been some highlights, there's been some lowlights, but as with life, that's the duality of life, that's the duality of existence. How can you know joy without not knowing sadness? How do you know something is up if you don't know what down is? And as Little Sim says, how can you know love without knowing the opposite? How can you? So, duality of existence means that we have to go through ups and downs and we have to ride the waves of life. That doesn't mean it's any easier. Just because you're aware of this doesn't make it easier. Because when you're in the moment and you're having to deal with challenges and with issues, that's when you realize your strength. And sometimes you also need to rely on other people because a support network is very useful. So for me personally, there has been some major positives, especially in the professional sense. The 9 to 5, you have to earn to live. However, in this current social dichotomy that we live in, so a new job and that secured, permanent, and that, moving into that space whereby I'm like, yeah, things are settling and stabilizing, so I can't complain. Content with what I'm doing right now in terms of the 9 to 5 gives me the opportunity to focus on my hobbies and do a lot more extracurricular. Once the tax bracket starts upgrading and that, the disposable income follows, cash flow improves, the whole shebang, you get me? So it's afforded me the opportunity to have a bit more space, a bit more clarity, and can't complain, as I said in it. The journey has been worth it to be able to be in a position whereby I'm like, yeah, on that professional front, things are getting better. So my Pentecostal days, my Methodist days, my Baptist days, overall my Christian days, things are getting better. Oh, things are getting better. Got it. On a personal level, all is well. You get me? That's always my approach. Everything is well. It may not be well out there in the physical experience of it, but internally, I maintain all is well. Now, it's not about an illusion or about a delusion. Maybe a bit of illusion and delusion. But as I said in it, once you peep the metaphysics of it all, you understand that you are creator. You think, therefore you are. And, we all know about the faking it till you make it. There is some element of it as well to having a positive mental approach to life. Someone stamps on your foot. Of course, natural reaction is anger, and you're like, why did he stamp on my feet? Especially if you're wearing some fresh trainers and that. But you get me? You can also be like, you know what? It's good in it. It's nothing in it. And then as you're walking away, you might throw 1 or 2 insults to them and that. But that's just you helping to cope in it. But overall, you end up developing that fortitude. You end up developing that skill set. That means that no matter what you're faced with, you're able to maintain a positive approach and always see the silver lining in it. And that's just me. It's been something that I've been practicing for a while, so everything is always good with me. It might not be physically good, as I said, the manifestation and the experience of it, but I'm aware of my power. As I said, we were created in His image after all, and I believe that man is a super being. You understand? That's just me. I don't know about you, but as for me, man's supernatural out here. You get me? Man's got some superhero shit. You understand? But yeah. So yeah, things are good on the personal front. I'm at account front, and things are really, really good. It's not been easy, but if you have that positive intention and you are persistent and you have the patience, once again, the ability to endure whatever you're facing, it's going to be worth it. Honestly, it's going to be worth it. Families, all good. Been very challenging on the family front. Oh my days, that was family, eh? It's never, and nothing worth having is easy. You can approach it smartly, but that doesn't mean that you're not draining some sort of mental energy either. Emotional energy, mental energy, spiritual energy, physical energy, all of it has been stretched when it comes to my family relationships. But right now, we're in a very good place. It's gonna keep getting better. It's gonna keep improving. But this is maintain a positive approach. Friends, sphere of influence, in terms of friends and that, there's been a few issues, Some friends I'm a bit more cautious about now. You live and you learn. And you understand that not everyone is supposed to be in your life till old age. Some people come in your life at strategic moments and they help give you insights and provide life lessons to inform you of how to interact with people in the future. And also means that it's not everything that you share with people, because often the people in your life that you assume that mean well actually may not know that subconsciously they're just putting out a certain energy, a certain vibe that may adversely impact your ability to make progress. In essence, what I'm saying is that you might have some snakes in the grass in your corner. Some snakes. They don't even know there's snakes out there. You get me? They don't even know that they're the snakes. But the funny thing is, the irony of this is, for some people, I might be that snake. I might be that friend. And I'm happy to accept that. You know what? That's their perception of me. But I know deep down within me that I always wish the best for people. I can feel. I'm empathic, so I can feel that empathy about people, and I can relate. And due to just having compassion, I always wish well for people. But that goes without saying that your opinion of me remains that. It remains your opinion of me. Unless you got the facts and you got the evidence to back it, I ain't interested. But yeah, my sphere of influence has improved. I believe I'm meeting the right people now. I'm forming the right relationships, forming the right bonds. And there's always a way back, you understand? Some relationships are cyclical, you go through periods and phases. You have your moments where you're, really close in that. And then sometimes you just need to, just let it go, just let it spread, you understand? But yeah, the future's looking sweet, nevertheless. The future is looking sweet. But yeah, there has been some lowlights, nevertheless. And the major lowlights for me, was a major injury to the missus while I was on holiday. So even worse, impacting everyone on the holiday. But fully recovered, 90% recovered. Still doing some bit of physiotherapy, getting the mobility coming. And the major impact for me was obviously being in a relationship, being a married man, being a husband, being a father, being sure responsible, whatever your definition of responsible is, but I am though. Personally, I'm a responsible man, you understand? Now the situation isn't the same for everyone. I think most men, majority of people in life, it's not even about being gender specific. I think most people in life just want what's best for them. And sometimes we don't see the bigger picture and don't understand that sometimes we may have to be selfless in a certain situation for a period of time so that you'll be able to enjoy the results. Enjoyment is why, or the enjoyment now, as in the self-gratification right now, means we sometimes make decisions that may not necessarily be what we need to, may not necessarily be right. However, to each their own in it. I make my decisions based on my own personal life experiences and conditioning, so do other people. So you have to respect it. But yeah, the injury had a significant impact for a good 3 months. Obviously, there was a lot I'm having to deal with, or I had to deal with, I must say. And honestly, she was very understanding throughout the period. But that doesn't change the fact that I was dealing with a lot, additional responsibilities on top of the ones I had already. But that's what marriage is, isn't it? You have to basically be there for each other in sickness and in health. And I think I've been able to tick that box off. I was there. I didn't disappear, and I'm still here. But yeah, apart from that, there was obviously some, we'll call it financial losses, a depletion of the financial pool, cash flow issues as well, not being able to actually be consistently working initially on a fixed term contract and it not being renewed because of COVID and not BAU, but then might secure the permanent thing now though, so everything happens for a reason, you understand, if you're able to go and ride the wave. But the major one for me during COVID, the major low light was the loss of freedom. Specifically, freedom of movements. And the freedom to move and go wherever you wanted to was severely impacted. There was prerequisites and criteria, You had to go out with X amount of people or go out X amount of days, or you couldn't. You get me? You know the whole thing. What I'm basically saying that there was a lockdowns. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. But what made lockdown a lot more annoying was the fact that the decision makers for these lockdowns were not necessarily applying this same, at one stage, law and a legal requirement that we stayed locked down to themselves. And for those in the UK, you understand, the government did bits, and some senior members in the government also did bits. I'm not going to mention any names, but it rhymes with ok, but you know what it is. But yeah, let me not get triggered in it because it's not even about that. But yeah, the major low light for me was the loss of freedom in it. But still, we move, because I mentioned earlier, the pandemic's soon to end, officially on a global scale. And you can see they've started loosening the reins, we're being given a bit more freedoms and that. And still we move, as I mentioned, still we move. But how do I know lowlights if I don't know the highlights? Oh, the highlights was good. The highlights was really good. The major highlight for me basically was GH. To all my GH crew out there, you get me. Ghana 2021, epic. I use the word epic a lot, but this one is the real one. Epic. 17 days was just whirlwind. It just came. I literally went, slept, woke up, had to leave. That's how much fun I had in Ghana, man. Ghana was just perfect for me, honestly. The timing of it, went with my little bro, went with my pops, cousin getting married. Everything was just brilliant. I can't really fault Ghana, man. Ghana 2021 came at the right time for me. Came back from Ghana, then Italy, Sicily, Palermo. Oi, what are you telling me? Oi, no. Sicily was bits, I can't even lie. Sicily, yeah, some good time. 7 days in there, living on the coast, enjoying that sunshine, soaking in all that vitamin D. God damn it. Yeah, August in Sicily, that was bits as well. Went with the family, had an amazing time in Sicily as well. Went with the extended family, so a group of 10. So yeah, life was really good. And for the little one as well, that was his first time on a plane and first time traveling and first time on holiday for him. So just experiencing that with him as well, that was amazing. And he had an amazing time, like an amazing time in Sicily. So I can't fault anything with Sicily. Ghana and Sicily was good. And then me, I like to do things in 3. You'll read about the power of 3, 6, and 9. You understand? Nikola Tesla. Just go find out, innit? Power of 3, 6, and 9. But yeah, Ghana, Sicily, and securing the permanent role. Yeah. Now you need to know. But yeah, we keep moving. We're gonna keep on growing. Can't do it without you though. So anyone, absolutely anyone. I don't care what walk of life. I don't care. I don't really care about them things there. But I understand the importance if you want to engage, especially if you're offering a sort of service, which is what I'm basically offering. A service which is creating a space, a safe space, a positive space for us to have conversations, to normalize having conversations on mental health. And as you can see, there seems to be a shift and an appreciation and awareness that mental health is often disregarded or not enough light is shown on it. So let me just leave on a spoken word piece of it. On a spoken word piece, yeah. Our inner circle can and should act as a release valve in those rarefied moments where we feel stressed and overwhelmed. Therefore, it is imperative that we surround ourselves with souls, with beings that resonate with ours. Yes, on a personal level, you must affirm positive thinking, thoughts, and actions. But be aware that what we may normally consider negative is often an experience in life. An experience that establishes at the subconscious level insights and intelligence to prepare us for encounters of the physical, metaphysical, and spiritual. There is balance and duality in all things. And awareness of this is key. All is mental. And although it may take some time to manifest, persevere. And on that note, I'm going to say, catch you on the next episode. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Go follow the socials. It's a podcast going out to say. So we'll say, Eti Sen.